What's up? This is Gardy with Clear Life here, streaming live at the Clear Life HQ in beautiful Leak City, Texas. If you're watching this, feel free to share it out. Let us know what you have going on today. Right now, we're going to be sharing and learning about an event. It's taking place this Saturday, July 27th in Baytown, Texas. I have a guest in studio. We're going to be finding out about his story and how he's involved in all of this. Hey, how's it going?
I'm good.
If somebody hasn't met you before, what's your name and then what do you have going on?
I'm Andre Crosby. I box out of Lopez Boxing Gym. Hey, it's my life right now.
Yeah.
Boxing.
Yeah, let's talk and learn about you starting this. First, El Tigre Promotions, July 27th. You can get your tickets now. If you want to check out some of the past events that they've had, there's a couple that are up on Clear Life Media's YouTube. You can also go to El Tigre Promotions on Facebook, learn more. You know, whenever I think of El Tigre, I think it's an event. It's more than just boxing. It's more than combat sports. It's almost like a party, if you will. You know, you're going to be fighting this Saturday in Baytown. But how did you get started?
Man, my story is crazy. One of my cousin, she introduced me to boxing. She passed away, you know, God rest her soul. She passed away, and I was in the streets. It's not no shame. I was in the streets, and I was always getting in trouble, and I was always fighting. Anybody know me, you know, I always came up fighting. And she was like, hey, man, you need to box. And she knew somebody that boxed, so she took me to a boxing event. And when she took me to the boxing event, I'm like, it's cool. And I started telling everybody, oh, I'm a box. And everybody like, man, he ain't gonna box. He just gonna get in trouble again. And I actually started taking it serious. But later on down my career, I ended up getting in some more trouble. And when I ended up getting in trouble, the guy that she introduced me to, I used to box with, he ended up passing away. So I was in prison when he passed away. And we used to always talk. He was like my best friend. We always talk. Everybody know him, Scrap World. And we used to always talk. And he ended up passing away. And he was like, man, when you come home, man, you got to do it. You got to take it serious. And this been a journey since I've been home.
Yeah.
I don't do nothing else. I don't have no job. This is what I do. This is my life.
Yeah. So this is it. You know, and I was thinking about this earlier, and I saw someone made a social media post. It's like, even when times get tough or things don't work out the way that you think they will, like where you're at right now, there's somebody who wishes they were in your position, or it's like, man, I remember when I used to dream about this opportunity, even like in the studio where we're at right now, talking about what we're going to talk about. I mean, can you relate to that at all?
Man, this is like a dream come true for me. Like I'm a big person, be on the internet. I watch all the boxers. Like I be tuned in when it comes to boxing. So this is everything right now. And that's how I'm taking it all in. Like this is everything.
Yeah. What do you think about the state of boxing as it is right now? There's a lot of different headlines and things going on.
I feel like especially in Houston, like we getting better. I feel like, you know, it's a lot of people buying into it. It's a lot of people, you know, promoting boxing in Houston. At first, we really didn't have too much of nothing when it came down to boxing. And I'm loving it right now.
Yeah. There's a lot of different, you know, there's opportunities. Right. And I think for you, I mean, is it, hey, you got to stay ready whenever there's an opportunity, you just got to just say yes and go with it?
Yeah, that's how I look at it, because I'm not just young. Like, I got to stay ready. Like, you know, like it's time, and I feel like the time is now.
Yeah.
And I'm a execute my position. Like, hey, this is what I got to go through. You who I got to go through, I'm going to go through you and get to the next one. Mm-hmm. But I don't underestimate no man, especially that a man that get in that ring, because I know how hard it is to get in that ring.
Yeah. I had a chance to talk to Coach. I talked to Hercules. I talked to Rambo. Some of these
guys. Them guys, I love those guys because they took me in with open arms. Coach, like they all took me in with open arms, man. I could never repay them. They all my flaws, anything. Like I look at it like I'm the OG of the crew, but I'm the youngest of the crew because they been there. They doing things that this my pro debut. I'm older than those guys, but we all like family.
Yeah. Where are you originally from?
I'm from Houston, the north side of Houston.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah,
and this event is taking place in Baytown, but you know, Lopez Boxing is that's the home is Baytown. But I find out a lot of these guys are coming from, like you said, from Houston, from Texas City, coming from all over to go train with Coach. Yeah,
I end up getting introduced to Coach by one of my other tight friends that I was in Breon Gorman. Yeah, he real good. I end up going to the gym with him, and we always used to see each other in the amateurs, and we end up linking up. And he was like, "Man, I got a good spot you can be at, man. They're gonna treat you like family." And I was like, at the time, like, man, I don't want to be bothered with so many people. I'm good. And he was like, man, I think you should come. And I end up going, and it's been like family ever since.
Cool. You know, Coach was sharing off the air a little bit of the training when it comes to cardio and running, not necessarily every day, but hey, how many rounds you're doing, and it's almost down to a science, to a formula to make sure on fight night that everybody's prepared. Can you talk a little bit about what goes into preparing?
Oh man, it's crazy, man. Like we do so much. I probably like it's just so much we do. Like we call it like insurance. Like it's like 36 minutes of nothing but workouts. Like, you know, some people be like, oh, I work 3 hours in the gym. Like, nah, we literally workout after workout after workout after workout, sprints, bleaches. We're going to do some more stuff. We're going to do some more stuff. We're going to go to the gym, spar. Like, it'd be crazy sometimes.
Yeah.
And when I first went, like, I didn't think I was going to handle it over there. I was like, man, this is brutal. And then sometimes it be like that. But it's like we always call it insurance.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you paid your insurance, you good. You ain't got to worry about it in a fight. If your insurance paid, my insurance paid. It's like you get into a car wreck. My insurance paid. I know I messed up, but my insurance paid. So
yeah.
That's how I look at it.
You know, the work that you put in, everything else. You know, you talked about getting into fights before and your cousin saying, hey, maybe you should go train and do this because you had that in you. I mean, were you already kind of like a natural fighter? Did you have a chip on your shoulder?
Yeah.
Or what?
Yeah, I was always like that. I always had the little man complex, you know, like, man, guys bigger than me, I always be like, man, he little. So I always had the fight in me, but when it come down to my family, nobody boxed in my family, you know, nobody boxed, nobody had their kids to box, and like I got a son now. I got an 8-month-old son. So it's like, I got to do something good for him. I want him to grow up and say, man, my dad did this, you know, my dad did this. So it's all on me. And that's how I look at it. Like, I got to make it better for him.
Even when he gets older, you think, you know, put him in something like that.
Yeah,
it's good for you.
Yeah, if that's what he want to do, you know, come on. Dad did this. You want to try this out? So yeah, it's like, no, my life just really switched. Like, I had a whole 360, and that's what I had to do.
Yeah, you know, whenever you see, and you know, you've seen this, you know, training with guys, and you respect anybody that gets into the ring as well, but you never know what someone else knows. Like, even if there's an altercation out somewhere else, like I train jiu-jitsu, but I was like, when I first started, you know, I think like, oh, I'm taller than, bigger than that person, but you don't know what that person knows. Right. At least I never went around like looking for trouble, but it makes you think twice if you see somebody, because you don't know, you just don't know.
Right, and that's what I had to start learning, because I used to have my days like, oh man, I'm gonna fight this kid, I'm gonna just fight him, and I start running across people like, oh man, this guy can fight, like, yeah, he different, like this guy can fight. So, and you're right about that, like, you never know. That guy can be a black belt. You never know who you messing with. So, and you're right about that.
Yeah. What are you expecting to happen on Saturday in your fight? How do you think it's going to go?
I know I'm going to get my hand raised. It's just how I'm going to do it. I know that. I know I'm going to get my hand raised. It can be by stoppage, or I could just beat you up all night. I'm working with the best guys that I can work with. I'm not going to let you beat me. That's just how it's going.
Yeah. Talking to John Torres, you know, I asked him, and he was like, going in, we're prepared for whatever, but the trust that I have in my coach, if he tells me, hey, get out of the ring, we're leaving in the second round or whatever, I'm listening to what he says. You know, he wouldn't say that, but just saying, when coach says it's time to go, or hey, whatever it is, I have that complete trust in him. I would do whatever, because he knows, he's been there, he's seen it, and you know, can you relate to that statement?
Yeah, I can relate to it, because I've seen him do it so many times. I wouldn't be over there if I felt like, you know, he couldn't lead me to where I need to be. So I know he know what he's talking about, because he guided me, he showed me it's stuff he put into me. So I'm 100% with that. If he say do it like this, that's how I'm gonna do it.
Yeah. So
yeah, Coach, man, he the best right now, man. I don't see nobody messing with him. And everybody know if you fight a Lopez fighter, you're gonna have to bring it.
Are you currently in Houston? You stay in Houston right now?
Yeah, I stay in Houston right now.
Yeah. You know, there are some other boxing gyms, and even there's Houston boxers on this, you know, on this card. So it is exciting though, you know, because I do see there's opportunities for some of these guys at the next level getting picked up. Is that the long-term goal for you, or what do you want out of this when it's all said and done?
I just want to be remembered as a person that, like, I really do it, like, it's not about the money. Like, I just want to show kids, like, hey, you could be on this now and you could turn to do this. Like, Hey, I'm riding with the fly right now. Like, I just look at it like, hey, every time I step in that ring, I'm gonna be ready. And anybody know me. If you fought me in the amateurs, they know, hey, that kid come to fight.
Yeah.
So I just look at it, hey, I'm just, until my time come, until I say I'm done, I'm gonna keep on taking names, keep on checking them off the list.
What kind of feedback have you gotten from your friends and family members, and just have seen this turnaround in the journey you're on?
Oh man, everybody loving it. I'm probably the head up on the ticket sales right now, and I'm willing to bet whoever that the show is sold out. And this is my first pro fight, so it only get bigger from here. I'm leading on the ticket sales in the gym that I know, and all those guys been fighting. No shade to none of those guys, but it only get bigger for me. So all I got to do is go in there and do my job.
You know, if you can't make it to the fight, you can watch on Clear Life Media's YouTube page. You can watch on El Tigre's YouTube page. You can watch on clearlifemedia.com. We streamed and worked with El Tigre on the last 2 fights that they've had, and we've worked with them before. But again, if you haven't been before, I highly recommend it. It's an event. There's the lights, there's the music, there's the DJ, there's the people, and then there's the exciting entertainment, the energy in a combat sports event. You can't really. The first time I experienced that, it was just, there's nothing like it.
Yeah,
right?
I done been. It's like a party.
It is.
If you like fighting, if you like comeback sports, hey, that's Saturday. Don't miss it. It's gonna be a fight. It's gonna be a party.
Yeah, I guess invite people. If again someone hasn't seen you fight, why should they come and check you out?
Because I'm going to get the job done. Like, if you like boxing, you want to see me fight. I can do a little bit of it all. Mm-hmm. If I got a bang in there, I can bang. If I got to box you, I can box you. I know how to do a little bit of it all.
Yeah. Do you follow any of the news headlines or boxing and on the global scale, like any of the stuff that goes on?
Yeah, I follow a lot of the they got a lot of the things that I follow, the platforms that I follow. I follow a lot of them.
Mm-hmm. What do you think about Jake Paul just beat Mike Perry, an MMA fighter? Those like the influencers.
Like I said, like that's just how I look at boxing. Like, I'ma still commend Jake Paul because he getting in that ring. I don't care how good you is. It only take one shot. It only take one shot. You can be the best boxer. You can be the one shot and you on the ground. So I commend any person that put themselves in that ring because they can't tag nobody in.
Right.
When you're in the ring, it's you and that person.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna commend Jake Paul, man.
Yeah, there's an organization that we have worked with called Team Combat League. Mm-hmm. Are you familiar with this?
I think I heard it.
Yeah. So there's the Houston Hitmen. They have there's 18 rounds, and then there's like overtime rounds where I think we can go to 24.
Yeah. I did. I do know a little something about it. One of my friends I used to be in amateurs with, he on the team. He was telling me about it. I really don't like it. But I watch it. It's boxing, so I'm gonna watch it. I just don't like you get one round, then they got the other round. Right. I guess the money round or something like that.
Exactly.
Then you get back in. It's like it's cool. Yeah. It's different.
Yeah, it just reminded me of it because he said he can't tag anybody in. Usually he can't, but Team Combat League, shout out to them.
Yeah, that's dope. It's dope, man. It's dope. The
one thing I think. The best thing that I like about it, it's a team concept. So it's Houston versus Las Vegas versus New York versus Miami or whoever, right? Dallas, San Antonio, they have teams as well. But it's also, you're representing, I feel like in boxing or combat sports, you're representing your gym, your family, your city. But in this one, it's like, the NFL has a team. People, if you grew up rooting for the Texans.
It was definitely different. I do give them that. Like, I was like, man, they got a team? Like, yeah, they got a team. They got Austin. They got Houston. I'm like, it was dope. And I watch it. I'm not throwing no shade on it. I watch it. It was like, it's cool, though. It's just not nothing I never just thought of, like, I joined the team. Like, I just thought of.
Yeah, they get to represent something bigger.
Yeah, that's cool though.
The city, but there's a lot of talent. Every El Tigre card, we work with some other promotions in boxing as well, and then obviously like Team Combat League. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of talent, and I would ask you about that. And you were talking about that. There's some talent in Houston.
Houston, man. Like if you're sleeping on Houston, man, it's definitely a lot of talent in Houston.
Yeah,
you can make it out of Houston, man. Yeah, it's definitely talent in Houston.
Yeah.
But, we just not getting our notoriety. People just like, oh yeah, Houston got some people. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's even on Team Combat League, just reading through the bios and some things, I was like, man, this person was an Olympian.
Yeah.
They fought this person, that person, and different things. I was like, man, they're from here, fighting out of here. There's some
Yeah, I was in the amateur with a lot of them. You know, I didn't get my little opportunity, you know, little stuff like that, go to the U.S. Nationals and nothing like that. But, man, there was some great guys on the card. Like, it's great guys come out of Houston that can box.
You know, were you pretty pleased overall with your amateur career, and what kind of decision went into making this the pro debut on Saturday?
It was just like I just started getting, you know, I looked at it. I sat in prison for 2 years, and it was just like, you know, it's all or nothing, and that's how I looked at it. You know, I wasn't really done with amateur, but when I came home, it was like, oh, look at your age now. You know, I'm 33, so I looked at it like it's all or nothing.
Yeah, you know, having time to think about that. Was there any other like goals or any other things? Hey, I want to achieve this. I want to do that, or what kind of? I mean, that's a lot of time.
Man, I'm gonna be honest with you. When I went